to welcome tonight Kiran Bedi is joining us tonight. E.N. Ram Mohan, former Director General of the BSF, is in our Delhi studios. Renuka Chaudhary, National Spokesperson of the Congress Party. M.N. Singh, former Mumbai Police Commissioner. N. Vittal, former Chief Vigilance Commissioner. And Nirmala Sitharaman, National Spokesperson of the BJP. It's an eminent panel. I want to first ask you, does this make sense to you? Mr. Ram Mohan, which side are you on? The country wants transparency. This is going to make the country, especially the CBI, which handles corruption, more opaque.
I was amazed to hear this first, that direction has been given that the CBI should be kept out of the purview of the Right to Information Act. You see, the CBI is basically a police investigating agency. It's a police, every SP CBI is the officer in charge of that police station. You see, normally a police station can only be notified by the state government, but in the case of the CBI, under the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, they are to investigate cases of corruption against central government servants. What is secret about this? I do not understand at all. I mean, it's amazing to find that a direction has been given that it should be kept out of the Right to Information Act. I think this is simply illegal. You see, the first thing is that the moment an FIR is registered, the original copy of the FIR goes to the court. Now, are you going to tell the judge that this should be top secret? The first page of the case diary which the IO writes goes to the court. The IO only has an office copy, a carbon copy, and the superior police officers have only a carbon copy for supervision. How can you make this secret?
I find it...
Anti-corruption is certainly not a secret matter.
I
mean, it's totally against all that I've learned in police, right from the first day I joined the police academy.
I'm trying to still fathom how this happened. M.N. Singh, let me to get your view in. As a former Mumbai Police Commissioner, does this make sense to you?
Well, I'm really surprised. This RTI Act came into existence in 2005.
Yes.
It has been there for 5, 6 years or 7 years now. What has prompted the government that after the lapse of 6, 7 years, it has suddenly woken up and taken the CBI out of the purview of this RTI Act? I wish the government had issued a clarificatory note explaining to the public as to what were the reasons behind issuing such an order. Now, coming to the issues of national security, etc., may I tell you that the RTI Act under Section 8 provides that any information which is likely to jeopardize the sovereignty, integrity and security of the state shall not be disclosed. These safety clauses are very much there under the RTI Act itself. It also says that any information, the disclosure of which is likely to impede the process of investigation, apprehension and prosecution shall not be given. Also it says any information, the disclosure of which is likely to compromise the safety and security of an individual, in particular the police informant, shall not be disclosed.
Government knows
now with all these safety clauses already built in this law itself, I don't see any logic or any justification for this argument of national security.
Before I go to our political panelists, Kiran Bedi, the government knew that there are already provisions. Yes.
I will totally go along with my two earlier senior police colleagues, Mr. M.N. Singh and my other colleague. Absolutely right. I don't see any reason. As it is, CPI, as you very rightly said, is a very closed institution. I don't understand why should anti-corruption require this kind of cloud of secrecy. In fact, we need to know more. This is exactly what is breeding corruption. And if last few CBI directors had no problems till now, then what's gone wrong with the earlier CBI directors? Which means it's personal, it's individual, it's not an institutional issue. And if our Chief Attorney General also says that it was more a suggestion, it's a matter of interpreting the advice.
I also want to now point out, as I go to Renuka Chaudhary, Mr. Vittal, just coming to you tonight, I want you to be the adjudicator of this debate. Now, I have this letter. This is the Office of Attorney General of India. This paper is with us tonight. He gives several cases. Renuka Chaudhary, I don't know if you can, but let me summarize this for you. The Attorney General gives several cases of which are proof that the CBI needs to be kept away from people's eye. Naval War Room leak case. We know this is about corruption in the purchase of defense equipment. Barak anti-missile defense system case. Corruption in the purchase of Barak anti-missile defense. Denel anti-material rifles case. Corruption related to the supply of anti-material rifles. he gives all of these are major corruption cases. So Renuka Chaudhary, the whole country wants transparency on corruption and corruption related cases. Why has the government, in your view, decided to try and close all of this from people's purview?
You know, I think first of all, Arnav, we
Yes.
should just stop this black and white perception that government is black and everybody else is snow-driven white, okay? We have to have a sense of balance and rational. First, I want an answer from all these eminent panelists.
Sure.
And you.
Yes.
Who is going to Lokpal the Lokpal?
No, this is not about Lokpal. This is about CBI.
Who Lokpals the Lokpal? 1 minute. This is a new thing that we are introducing into the country. And the government has several reasons, not all of which can be aired and publicized on national television. And there is a section where Section 24 empowers the central government to amend the schedule by way of notification to the official gazette. On the publication of such notifications, such organizations shall be deemed to be included or, as the case may be, omitted from the schedule. You think the government is only involved in covering up murky deals? It isn't. Now, if the naval corruption is on, is a case in point. You don't want to empower the country which has supplied these. And you don't want to publicize that before you arrive at finding out who's the guilty person. There are several other more complex situations which will address themselves.
No, but corruption
So
cases...
you want transparency?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with your office, Arnav.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
start with your office. How much salary are you paying your chai wala? Is it above this or is it below this? The concept of transparency is very, very elastic and very convenient.
Ms. Chaudhary.
So, if the government is saying that the investigations at certain levels must be curtailed, they must not be exposed to prevent others from amending and correcting
Chaudhary.
or trying to hide evidence.
Ms. Chaudhary.
Hello?
Ms. Chaudhary.
Hello?
Ms. Chaudhary, can
Yeah,
you hear me?
1 second, I can't hear you. 1 second.
Ms. Chaudhary.
Hello?
Yes, Ms. Chaudhary.
Hello?
I think you can hear
Yeah,
me
yeah,
now.
I
The
can
point
hear
is
you now.
simply this, ma'am. You know,
Yeah, I can.
my office, people working in the office were not elected by the people of India. But yes, we have great answerability.
So is CBI elected
The
by the
point
people
is,
of India?
you quoted Section 24 of the RTI Act for exemption, which states that nothing contained in the Act shall apply to the intelligence and security organizations established by the central government. By that definition itself, your argument is flawed. Because the CBI is not. It does not fall under that purview. And it has exception given in different ways. I want to get in Nirmala Sitharaman here right now because the debate is political. We even have members of the NAC who are beginning to question this whole decision. Ms. Sitharaman.
The context in which this question has come is one very important thing for me to obviously start this political debate from the political standpoint, that the government now gives you very divergent view on a particular decision that they are taking. Eventually which decision prevails we don't know, and when it comes out we understand that it has come out after several other opposite decisions have also been influencing the decision making. Now the partial or the full inclusive, bringing in partly or fully the CBI under the RTI is a very critical question, because of late and in the recent past we've seen how CBI has been completely misused for serving political purposes, and therefore this question attains very serious importance, and all of us
Maybe
will have to stand on the side of transparency and justify including it. But the way in which bits and pieces of information are being collected, especially in the context of Lokpal bill, also going to have to look at investigative wings separately from law and order related people. We find at this time debating this issue is only probably, highlighting one aspect of it, and when the drafted bill comes to the parliament, even this aspect is going to be covered by it. Whilst I appreciate the importance of, let me just finish, Arnav, please. While I appreciate the importance of CBI's proceedings and CBI's activities becoming a part of the RTI, and it is important for the country in the name of transparency to get more information, especially CBI being the premier agency dealing with corruption related cases.
Yes.
We understand its significance. But as a party, we are saying we are dealing with this question in bits and pieces. Now when we are talking in the context of RTI, later on in the context of Lokpal bill when it comes as a draft, and therefore we reserve our right from the BJP to respond to it when the bill comes in the parliament. While I appreciate and I underline the fact that under the RTI...
No, 1 second. Nirmala, are you for the CBI?
That's not a long reply. I need to put it in the context. No, Arnab.
Are you
No, wait a minute, Arnab. It had to be it had to be a longish reply because otherwise there are prefixes and suffixes added to the BJP's position, and I'm being very sure that by giving you a long reply, at least the opportunity for wrong interpretations will not be there.
I would neither put a prefix or a suffix, but the point here simply is...
I'm not taking anybody's name, but I would want to put it in a proper perspective.
You are for or against bringing the CBI fully under the RTI? For or against?
I've given you my answer, Arnab. I've certainly given you my answer.
Against.
You can now interpret it the way you want.
Against.
I've given you my answer.
You're for bringing the CBI under the RTI. You're for it.
You've given me one. Are you giving me one more opportunity to say
there are two options. You're either for or against. Are you for bringing the CBI under the RTI?
What a brilliant
We are very clear that on corruption we want complete transparency. But gathering piecemeal information on these kind of things does not help. We are definitely going to give a complete comprehensive picture of what we feel on issues related to fighting corruption when the Lokpal draft comes to the parliament.
I fail to understand the great difficulty nowadays in taking a clear position on this very obvious issues, but I'll come to you again. I'll come to you again.
You do not want to appreciate it.
Ma'am, Mr. Vittal, Section 24, Schedule 2 of the RTI Act 2005 mentions only intelligence and security agencies can be exempted. Is there any ground for the CBI to be exempted? Mr. Vittal.
Hello. Actually, as Central Vigilance Commissioner, my focus was on fighting corruption, and it was on that ground the CBI was brought under the supervision of the CVC. With my practical experience and also listening to the other police officers, I am totally of the view that so far as fighting corruption is concerned, CBI is the main instrument of the Government of India for fighting corruption. Therefore, there should be total transparency in its operation. Therefore, it cannot be exempted from RTI. The only restriction can be when the investigations are going on, where sensitive information is being collected. To that extent, for that period, the police cannot communicate with the outside, and certain information has to be confidential. But the moment the investigation is over and the case comes before a court of law, automatically there is no need for any exemption at all.
Okay, now
so RTI is an instrument for transparency. Transparency is the antidote for corruption. CBI is the anti-corruption agency we have. There is no reason at all why it should be exempted from RTI.
I think that I'm finding great clarity among some of our panelists tonight now.
Well,
let's open this up for debate. MN Singh first wants to respond to Renuka Chaudhary.
As I said in the beginning itself, that the government ought to have given a clarification, issued a note clarifying the position, government's position and the reasoning behind it. Now, what I understand is that the reasons given for issuing this kind of a blanket ban is number one, that the CBI is an intelligence gathering agency. This is totally false. Far from the truth. CBI does manage information about crime and criminals for the purposes of investigation.
Sure.
It is not an intelligence gathering agency as such. Its basic job is crime investigation. Then the second reason which has been given is that there is a plethora of RTI applications coming and CBI is understaffed and is not ready to handle all this.
Yes.
Well, this can't be a ground for bringing about a blanket ban. And now if these are the reasons, and then the third reason given is that the RTI commissioners, information commissioners are not very practical in understanding and appreciating the nuances of investigation. I fail to understand how any such logic can be given by the Attorney General of India. This is absolutely far from the truth. In fact, this all the more reinforces the logic for bringing the CBI under the purview of the RTI.
Do you think the government will retract this given the massive outrage that we are seeing here?
I hope it does.
Mr. Ram Mohan, do you think the government will be forced to retract this, backtrack this, roll it back?